Morning. So, just showing these roses as they've come out nicely. And they smell amazing. I'm just having my coffee. And just reflecting a wee bit on environmental factors. I think the environmental factors are quite important in where you decide to live. Potentially at least, particularly like this old rose here. But there's a definite effect from the environment that you live in. I noticed that from previously living in very small flats and that kind of overcrowded feeling that you can get from that. It's not always a choice on that front, but there is this element of, simply if I was to live in London, for example, then I would definitely be living in a smaller place, and I also wouldn't have access to the countryside, and I probably wouldn't have a garden where I can grow vegetables so much, and there is a definite impact from that, I think, because I could feel it this week when I was in London. It's kind of really noticeable. Also, the pollution, So there's this aspect of as I was cycling around London and walking around London, at times it was really like catching the back of my throat, the pollution from the cars and the buses and all that kind of style, and also the underground, I believe, is at times I don't really use the underground because I can tell when I go down there, at certain areas, that my lungs feel brutalized by the fine particle matters, and there's also this aspect of, all the people, there is this aspect where, not everybody's friendly, and you do have to be a bit vigilant as you're going about your day because there's all sorts going on, there's traffic everywhere. It's very, to some extent, a bit of like a very high risk endeavour going for a long cycle through London to some extent. But I mean, it was fine, nothing happened, but you've got to be really on your toes as you go about the place, whereas if I went for a cycle in the countryside here, an hour away from London, for example, then I'm going to be less, on my toes constantly. But there's also a bit of a kind of something that comes from London, which is a bit like, everybody walks faster, everybody's on a mission. Not always, but you get the vibe of that, and that can have this impact on ourselves where we get a bit like, not hyper, but a little bit kind of wired, which might be useful, when it comes to work and stuff, or getting on in life and doing things. But there is an aspect of like, I definitely appreciate the quieter aspects of life and the contrast. So I'd rather live near the countryside so I can get out into the countryside tranquility easier when I'm not working and stuff like that, So yeah, I think there's a definite benefit to all of that, but it's also like noticing the cons as well, because obviously there's loads of opportunities in London, loads of work opportunities, study opportunities, different companies, different interesting things. But there's also this aspect of, I can notice the decompression of being in the garden, which you could try and seek out as well in London. But Yeah, thinking about the environmental factors that can impact us, and sometimes it's without even noticing. You know, we don't really we're not conscious of it sometimes, but actually there's all sorts going on, you know, and these things all affect us, you know. Yeah, these flowers are coming out nice, really nice. Yeah, so considering the environmental factors, I think is really important, and we tend to do have choices over where we decide to live to some extent, and that can have a profound effect on our mood and possibly our anxiety levels and everything. Yeah. But anyway, something to consider.